Hello friends, now I'll be talking to you regarding metabolic acidosis. Well, when we talk about the definition, we say metabolic when the bicarbonate level is less than 22 millimole. We all know very well the normal level is 22 to 28 millimole per liter. But for easy calculation, I'll be taking 24. Okay, so in metabolic acidosis, it is less than the lower limit. Well, when you say acidosis, the pH is less than 7.35. So these two entities together, they define a case as a metabolic acidosis. With this background, now we talk about compensation. As we know that whenever there is acid-base disturbance is there, body has a compensatory mechanism. Well, the compensatory mechanism is body try to bring back pH to normal. So let me give you again. This is the pH. Normal level is this 7.35 to 7.45. Average I was taking as 7.40. This is 7 pH and this is 7.7. So when we say acidosis, the pH will be somewhere here. It will be less than 7.35. So body will try to bring back pH to normal or near normal. That is so-called compensation. So in case of metabolic acidosis, the compensating mechanism is increased ventilation. And that lead to washout of CO2 will wash out. CO2 is an acid. Look at me. Actually the breathing happen like this. Okay. Hyperventilation, so-called acidotic breathing. This is acidotic breathing. But there's another name of. Please write down what is the other name of this acidotic breathing. Write down in your copy. Well, I'm sure by now you have written the answer. Answer is Kussmaul breathing. And one more thing, very, very important point. The compensatory mechanism by lungs is very fast. It occurs within minutes to hours. With this background, we move further. Now we know the CO2 will fall down as CO2 is going out. But how much? That we calculate by Winter formula. So expected respiratory composition of metabolic acidosis, we calculate by Winter formula. This is the most important part of metabolic acidosis. So this slide, I'll go slow. I'll like to explain to you everything so that you never forget in your exam. So expected PaCO2 is bicarb multiplied by 1.5 plus 8 plus minus 2. Okay. Now what is this? Let me show you a beautiful table. Now we have a case of metabolic acidosis, bicarb is 10. Now, if I use Winter formula, the Winter formula is bicarb 10 multiplied by 1.5 plus 8 plus minus 2. This comes out to be 15 plus 8 plus minus 2. This comes out to be 23 plus minus 2. Its answer is 21 to 25. So in this case, 21 to 25 is expected. This is what I have done it. So if the CO2, suppose we got one case where CO2 is 24 with bicarb 10. So now this 24 is in between this. So we will call as metabolic acidosis with adequate compensation. Bicarb is in the range between 25 to 25, 21 to 25. Suppose compensation occurring, but CO2 is still 30. It is more than 25. Then we call as metabolic acidosis with respiratory acidosis. Point to be noted. Although this CO2 is less than 40, if you go by absolute term, this is respiratory alkalosis. But when we use this thing, winter formula we'll call as respiratory acidosis because it is still more than the upper limit of the winter formula. But suppose again 10, 10, it is 16, it is much less than 21, then we will call as metabolic acidosis with respiratory alkalosis. So with this small beautiful example, again I go back to previous slide. So interpretation of winter formula is as follows. Measured PaCO2, okay, and is within the range, with the range of expected CO2 we call as adequately compensated. As in the previous slide I showed you 24, it was between 21 to 25 adequately compensated. If PaCO2 is higher than the expected, as in the previous slide 30, we still call as respiratory acidosis. But if it is less than normal, like the previous slide 16, we call as respiratory alkalosis. So friends, now the winter formula is by PaCO2 bicarb multiplied by 1.5 plus 8 plus minus 2. Again the same slide. For those who could not write or could not understand, once more again I am saying 10 is the bicarbonate. Winter formula normal range will be 21 to 25. If it is 24, adequately compensated. 30, more than 25, it's respiratory acidosis. 16, less than 21, then we call as respiratory alkalosis. I hope things are clear to you. With this background, so what are the common cause of metabolic acidosis? Again, a very, very important slide. This again, a question always come in all the exams throughout the world. We classify or category like this. High anion gap metabolic acidosis, so-called HCO₃. Lactic acidosis. Diabetes ketoacidosis. Ketoacidosis in starvation. Point to be noted, in starvation also ketosis can occur. HCO₃ can occur in acute renal failure or chronic renal failure also. Okay, so there are some of the diseases category where we can give high anion gap metabolic acidosis. Then certain poisoning, salicylate poisoning in the late stage, methanol poisoning and ethylene glycol poisoning. Okay. Now this is the very, very important question. In salicylate poisoning, somebody has taken maybe 20 tablets of aspirin. So immediately when the aspirin goes, it is an acid, the body will try to have metabolic, again washout. Body will try to wash out CO2. The patient initially will develop metabolic alkalosis because of hyperventilation, the point I told you. In the late stages, because aspirin itself is an acid, then it causes metabolic acidosis in the late stage after 2-3 days. Point to be noted, acidosis occur in the late stage. Initial stage in aspirin poisoning, metabolic alkalosis occur. This is a very, very important question, very frequently asked question. Okay, methanol poisoning, what we call in India is kachi sharab tadi. Okay, that is, and this is much more common in Western countries. Now, normal anion gap metabolic acidosis, also called as hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis, so-called NEGMA. Renal tubular acidosis, type 1, type 2, type 4, all types. Diarrhea, interstitial nephritis, glue sniffing. Okay, so as I told you, RTA type 1, type 2, type 4, all have normal anion gap and also known as hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis. Diarrhea is again important cause. Here bicarb is lost. and that can lead to a type of nagma. Then anion gap less than normal is seen in increased unmeasured cations like in hyperkalemia, hypercalcemia, what we can see in hyperthyroid, and multiple myeloma. There are three conditions in this. This is a very, very frequently asked question. In multiple myeloma, that is anion gap is less than normal. Now, decreased unmeasured anions that we see in hypoalbuminemia. I think it's one of the commonest cause of so-called anion gap disturbance, but it is all because of albumin low. It's not due to disease as such, but it is due to low albumin level. Okay, this can occur in nephrotic syndrome and cirrhosis of liver. So now let's revise the quick recall questions. Okay, now you have to answer it. Well, what is the answer? Answer is low bicarb and pH less than 7.35. Main compensating mechanism for metabolic acidosis: hyperventilation, so-called Kussmaul breathing. Time for respiratory compensation in metabolic acidosis: it is minutes to hours. Very fast. It's a quick. Next question. Formula for expected PaCO₂ in metabolic acidosis. In fact, he's asking Winter's formula. Kya hai? Yes, the answer is Winter formula. Then what is Winter formula? It is PaCO₂ is 1.5 multiplied by bicarb plus 8 plus minus 2. Nagma is also called as what? Next question. The answer is hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis, hyperchloremic acidosis or hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis. Next, hematological cause of low anion gap. Definitely it is multiple myeloma. Then most common cause of low anion gap overall. The answer shall be hypoalbuminemia. Remember, it is not less, but overall when we do calculation, simple, if you are not taking into consideration albumin level, you are bound to get low anion gap. That's why whenever we are calculating anion gap, serum albumin should always be measured and correction should be done accordingly. And that correction I have told you in my lecture on anion gap. Friends, Smart Medicine video. This lecture is a part of my videos of Smart Medicine, which have 350 hours of the complete medicine recording. Integrated way, every topic has been recorded in the integrated way, covering A to Z of all the subject related to that topic. I teach topic wise, A to Z, anatomy, physio, biochem, whatever it is there you cover, okay, so that you really understand what is happening. Remember, if you really want to top in the exam, your approach should be topic wise, not subject wise. You read anatomy of a subject today, you read physiology of that topic, after some time you forget, you are not able to correlate. So change your approach to topic wise, and my Smart Medicine has been recorded in integrated way. Only videos available in integrated way are Smart Medicine. You can get free videos of my Smart Medicine. You can contact my staff at this number. You can write down the number or you can click the photo. And even if you want to contact me also, I'm sharing you my number, WhatsApp number, so that any doubt, clarity, you can contact me. Thank you.